Welcome to Hong Kong Brief. The content of the briefing includes: Standard Chartered announces $1 billion buyback as profit beats. Baidu, NetEase to chart path ahead as China tightens grip on tech firms. Global market stocks bask in tech euphoria, Nvidia boom. China home prices fall at slower pace as support mounts. JD.com faces tough overseas battle to revive shares. Standard Chartered announces $1 billion buyback as profit beats. Bloomberg. Standard Chartered has announced plans to return more money to shareholders and boost returns as it seeks to reduce complexity and improve performance. The London-based emerging markets-focused lender said it would launch a $1 billion share buyback program. The bank also said its Fit for Growth program would save around $1.5 billion in expenses over the next 3 years, but would also add a similar amount to costs for permanent organizational changes. Standard Chartered reported a 63% rise in adjusted pre-tax profit for Q4 to $1.06 billion, exceeding estimates. The bank's shares have fallen more than 20% over the past year. Baidu, NetEase to chart path ahead as China tightens grip on tech firms. Bloomberg. Chinese technology companies Baidu and NetEase are set to report earnings amid concerns of further restrictions on private enterprises by the Chinese government. The government is facing pressure to restore confidence following a $7 trillion stock rout. While Beijing's moves to steer the technology industry may divert more resources to artificial intelligence and semiconductors, investors may be less enthused at a time when Chinese stocks are struggling to gain traction. Baidu will need to convince investors that AI developments can spur higher revenue, while NetEase is expected to turn in a strong performance despite expected government oversight in the years ahead. Global market stocks bask in tech euphoria, Nvidia boom. Yahoo. China home prices fall at slower pace as support mounts. Bloomberg. China's home prices experienced a slower decline in January, marking the first signs of improvement in 10 months. New home prices in 70 cities dropped 0.37% last month from December, while second-hand prices declined by 0.68%. China is making efforts to combat the property crisis, which has been weighing on the country's economy. Policymakers are pressuring banks to boost property loans through white lists, and state-owned lenders have committed at least 124 billion Chinese yuan, $17 billion, of loans for eligible projects. The government has also increased support for the sector by cutting a key mortgage reference rate. JD.com faces tough overseas battle to revive shares. Bloomberg. Investors are unlikely to invest in JD.com until it has proved success overseas. The company's recent plans to seek growth abroad through the acquisition of UK electronics retailer NetEase is facing skepticism. The firm's attempts to revitalize domestic sales have also borne little fruit amid weak Chinese consumer spending and fierce competition. JD.com is still down by nearly 50% over the past year, compared with a loss of 20% by rival Alibaba, and a more than 50% surge in Temu owner PDD Holdings. JD.com's valuation multiple has dropped more than any other major Chinese technology stock, apart from Meituan, over the past year. Hong Kong government urged to expand types of events it promotes abroad. South China Morning Post. Event organizers and tourism industry representatives in Hong Kong are calling on the government to expand its promotion of shows and events internationally to help the sector recover from the COVID pandemic. Although the chairman of the Hong Kong Exhibition and Convention Industry Association, Stuart Bailey, said bookings for exhibitions and conventions were robust, he added that some challenges remained, including labor shortages and a reduction in long-haul flight capacity. Hong Kong startups' use of recycled plastic drowns out noise in construction. South China Morning Post. Hong Kong-based Acoustic Metamaterials Group, AMG, is looking to expand the use of recycled plastic in the construction industry in order to reduce its carbon footprint and noise pollution. AMG's manufacturing technology can upcycle plastic waste for use in noise control products that achieve similar or better acoustic performance than traditional materials such as rock wool, fiberglass, and foam. The company's sustainable manufacturing process uses upcycled plastic to create noise-absorbing metamaterials. AMG's products have been used in various industries, and the company aims to use a higher proportion of recycled plastic in the construction sector. Could France superstar DuPont add X factor to Hong Kong's sevens this April? South China Morning Post. French scrum half Antoine Dupont has been named in the France squad for the Vancouver Sevens tournament as he switches from 15A-side rugby to target success at the Olympics in Paris. The HSBC Sevens series will then move on to Los Angeles before the Cathay HSBC Hong Kong Sevens in April. DuPont's participation in the Hong Kong event could add to the tournament's appeal. France's sevens team has struggled in recent years, finishing seventh at the Rio Olympics in 2016 and failing to qualify for the Tokyo Games in 2021. Asian shares to climb as equities hit record highs, markets wrap. Bloomberg. Asian stocks continued to rally on Friday, following the global surge in equities that saw share markets in the US, Europe, and Japan reach record highs. Australian and South Korean stocks rose, while a US-listed Chinese stocks index climbed over 1%. In the US, Nvidia Corporation, the world's most valuable chip maker, saw its shares surge 16% after strong earnings data, boosting the company's market capitalization by $277 billion in a single day. The rally was driven by a surge in demand for artificial intelligence computing hardware from companies including Amazon.com, Facebook, and Google. Lionel Messi, Hong Kong situation results in 2 Argentina friendlies in US this March. Yahoo! Lionel Messi is set to play in the United States next month for 2 friendlies with the Argentina national team. The matches will help the team prepare for this summer's Copa America tournament, and Messi is expected to participate in both games. Argentina will face El Salvador in Philadelphia on March 22 and Nigeria in Los Angeles on March 26. Messi's participation in these matches means he will miss Inter Miami's game against the New York Red Bulls on March 23, but he is expected to return to club action on March 30 against New York City FC. Argentina will also play in the Copa America opener on June 20 in Atlanta. As China expands its hacking operations, a vulnerability emerges. New York Times. Revelations about Chinese hacking tools that were recently made public highlight the extent of Beijing's computer infiltration campaigns and the vulnerabilities of its emerging system. China has built up a network of contractors and independent companies to carry out its extensive hacking operations, ignoring American efforts to curb them. The country's hacking program is now larger than that of every major nation combined, according to Christopher A. Wray, the FBI director. China has built up this numerical advantage through contracts with firms such as iSoon, which has targeted countries including South Korea, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Malaysia, and India. Why China will focus on technology but muddle through on policy. South China Morning Post. China is unlikely to implement any large-scale bailouts of struggling industries or local governments at the National People's Congress meeting next month. The focus will remain on technology for geopolitical competition, while GDP growth for this year is expected to be in the middle single digits. The deflating property bubble is dragging down China's growth, but Beijing is unlikely to throw money at the problem this time. Instead, the Chinese government will rely on domestic companies and nurture private enterprises to drive growth. Hong Kong's elderly to feel benefit with expansion of health voucher plan. SCMP opinion. Hong Kong citizens will be able to use medical vouchers at 7 more hospitals and dental clinics in the Greater Bay Area from Q3 2022. The vouchers, which were first launched in 2009, are currently worth 2,000 Hong Kong dollars, $257 per year, and can be used at designated healthcare facilities in Hong Kong and Shenzhen. The expansion of the scheme to other parts of the Greater Bay Area is aimed at helping elderly citizens living in the region access medical and dental services. It is also hoped that the move will encourage a culture of preventive care and ease pressure on the city's healthcare system. Steady revival of Hong Kong shown by exhibitions. SCMP opinion. Hong Kong is experiencing a slow recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic, but there are signs of progress. The city has hosted 61 exhibitions in the second half of 2023 and has scheduled 160 exhibitions and 150 convention meetings for this year. Some brands have returned to Hong Kong after moving elsewhere due to the city's strict health controls and slow reopening. The shows and meetings will help boost the city's international profile and attract overseas business. However, the road ahead remains challenging, and the city must work harder to reinforce its position as a regional capital for trade fairs and conferences. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Six, your beloved observer from the sixth dimension. Today, I bring you a mix of news from the financial, technology, real estate, and sports sectors. Let's dive right in. First up, Standard Chartered announced plans to buy back $1 billion worth of shares as it reported a 63% rise in adjusted pre-tax profit for Q4. The bank aims to reduce complexity and improve performance. It's great to see them taking steps to boost returns and reward shareholders. But hey, let's hope they can turn around their falling shares over the past year. Next, we turn to Baidu and NetEase, two Chinese tech firms set to report earnings. However, concerns arise as the Chinese government tightens its grip on private enterprises. Investors may be less enthusiastic about the tech industry's future in China amidst a struggling stock market. Baidu needs to convince investors that its AI developments can generate higher revenue, while NetEase is expected to perform well despite government oversight. It's a tough battle for these companies. Moving on to the global stock markets, we witness a tech euphoria after Nvidia's strong results. Technology stocks around the world soared, with several indices hitting record highs. Nvidia's conference in March will likely unveil new products and innovations. Looks like artificial intelligence is here to stay, folks. Shifting gears, let's talk about China's property market. Home prices experienced a slower decline in January, signaling the first signs of improvement in 10 months. The Chinese government is making efforts to combat the property crisis by pressuring banks to boost property loans and cutting mortgage reference rates. It's a step in the right direction, but let's see if it can stabilize the market. Now, let's discuss JD.com, which is facing a tough battle to revive its shares. Investors remain skeptical about the company's plans to seek growth abroad through acquisitions. Domestic sales have also been weak due to low consumer spending and fierce competition. JD.com is down nearly 50% over the past year, while its rival Alibaba has only seen a 20% loss. Looks like JD.com needs to step up its game. In Hong Kong, the government is being urged to expand its promotion of shows and events internationally to help the sector recover from the pandemic. While bookings for exhibitions and conventions are robust, challenges such as labor shortages and reduced flight capacity remain. Let's hope Hong Kong can regain its status as a hub for international events. On the sustainable front, Hong Kong-based Acoustic Metamaterials Group is making strides in reducing noise pollution in the construction industry. By using recycled plastic to create noise-absorbing materials, they aim to reduce the carbon footprint and improve acoustic performance. Kudos to AMG for finding innovative solutions. Now, let's talk rugby. French scrum half Antoine Dupont has been named in the France squad for the Vancouver Sevens tournament and could potentially participate in the Hong Kong Sevens in April. This could add some star power to the tournament and spice up the competition. Let's hope France's Sevens team can make a strong comeback. In the world of finance, Asian stocks continue to rally, following the surge in global equities. Nvidia's strong earnings data boosted technology stocks, and demand for artificial intelligence computing hardware is on the rise. It's a great time for tech companies, so keep an eye on this sector. Moving on to Lionel Messi, he is set to play in the United States for 2 friendlies with the Argentina national team. These matches will help the team prepare for the Copa America tournament. Messi's participation means he will miss Inter Miami's game, but he's expected to return to club action soon. Get ready for some Messi magic. Now, let's dive into the world of cybersecurity. China's extensive hacking operations have been revealed, highlighting the vulnerabilities of its emerging system. China's hacking program is now larger than that of every major nation combined, according to the FBI director. It's a concerning situation that needs to be addressed seriously. Shifting back to China's economic landscape, it is unlikely that large-scale bailouts will be implemented at the National People's Congress meeting next month. The focus will remain on technology for geopolitical competition, and GDP growth is expected to be in the middle single digits. China's deflating property bubble is dragging down its growth, but the government is unlikely to throw money at the problem this time. Let's see how China navigates these challenges. In Hong Kong, there's good news for the elderly as the health voucher plan expands to the Greater Bay Area. This will help elderly citizens access medical and dental services, promote preventive care, and ease pressure on the healthcare system. It's a step towards a healthier future. Macquarie Group is looking to help Japanese companies spin off assets to improve efficiency. Japan has seen a similar trend before, and Macquarie Asset Management is excited about the potential opportunities. Let's hope this move leads to positive outcomes for both Macquarie and Japanese firms. Lastly, Hong Kong is experiencing a slow recovery from the pandemic, but there are signs of progress. The city has hosted exhibitions and scheduled various events for this year, attracting brands back to Hong Kong. It's a positive sign, but there's still work to be done to reinforce Hong Kong's position as a regional capital for trade fairs and conferences. And that's all for today, folks. Remember, your thoughts and opinions matter too. What do you make of these news stories? Do you have any burning questions for me? Share your thoughts and let's keep the discussion going. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.